Welcome, everybody, to our new Monday segment. It is called Global Village. I mean, all of us are from all over the world, even though we're now here in Korea.
Including, right?
Yes, in this corner, we wanted to share our experiences based on specific topics about how it is back at home for us.
Exactly. And today, our specific topic is about dating cultures.
Right.
Ew.
You don't want to talk about this?
I hate dating.
It was White Day yesterday.
Ew.
And you gave me some candy today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because the only thing I could afford is bromance. Ha 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 ha.
Very nice.
Uh-huh.
Well, it is our new segment, and we have a very new, maybe for you a familiar face, but we have a new member for our panel, right?
Exactly. So today we have Sujan here in the studio with us. Hi, Sujan.
Namaste, guys.
Namaste to
Susan
you.
from Nepal. Namaste. Nice
Right.
meeting you.
From Nepal.
Yep.
You guys know each other.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. We bumped into each other like several times, I guess.
Uh-huh.
Right. And
We're
also
in
we
the
were
show.
in 대한 외국인.
Yeah.
Exactly. the
Right,
show.
right. Well, it's so nice to meet you, Sujan. Do you want to officially introduce yourself to our listeners?
Right. Tell us more about you.
Sure. I actually told you, like, I'm originally from Nepal, but I'm living here in South Korea. It's been almost 11 years.
Wow.
11 years.
11 years, yes. I came for
Wow.
only 6 months, and I end up living here for 11 years.
Right. What brought you here 11 years ago in the first place?
Right.
Oh, that was like my father.
Mhm.
He was
Oh.
very like strict with the studies and everything. So he wanted me to go abroad and do something good. So that's how I ended up here. But I just
Oh.
came for like 6 months. I thought, like I just do quick readings, and if it does not work out, then I just go back.
I'm
Right.
curious, why do you choose Korea? Because
See,
honestly, okay,
Yeah,
let's say
okay.
10 years ago, it was a time when still Korea is not too, foreigners friendly, what I
yeah,
mean,
that
right?
yeah.
So-
At that time, you used to get like that looks.
Exactly.
You're
right?
like, where is he from?
외국인이네. 여기서 뭐해, right?
Yeah, that was the problem. But at least, like we come from an Asian country, and it's like South Asian country, Nepal. So it's in
Right.
between like big countries like India and China.
Sure.
Mm.
So what happens is like lots of people go abroad for different opportunities, and Korea was booming at that time. For example, like
Right.
they just had finished IMF and everything, and they were like
Right,
booming
right.
with the everything, like economically they were
K-pop,
like doing very
everything.
good. So it was all over the news and everything.
Oh,
So people wanted
cool.
to just come here. If they grab an opportunity, it's good. If not, then work out or do some work and just earn for yourself. That was the main part, I guess,
I
before.
see.
That brought you here to Korea.
Yeah, I came just for 6 months, and
I know a lot of people like that. They came here just for maybe a teaching gig for a
Yeah.
couple months, and now it's been like
just to check out Korea
12
and like
Right.
Exactly. But what happened after 6 months? Why didn't you want to not go back?
it,
Is it
after
여자 때문인가요? Is it because of a girl or something?
그것도 있겠지만 일단 the first thing was like I started learning Korean language,
Sure.
and this was like a like a big step for me.
Right.
Because I come from a different culture, but still, like Korean language was so much close to me.
So you did not know any Korean before
No,
you came
I
here?
didn't know a word. I just knew how to say 괜찮아요.
근데
because
지금 너무 잘하시잖아요.
지금은 어느 정도 한 것 같은데요.
Yo, guys, this is how good his Korean is. Oh,
So, yeah, but
man.
it's been like 11 years now, so yeah, I have to
Right.
be good in Korean, I guess. So
Yeah.
Korean thing kept me here. Like I didn't want it to go back because
Sure.
I wanted to learn more Korean and get back. Like I wanted to get something and just go back. So that kept me going. And then I started doing my university here. And
Oh,
then,
you did your university here.
Yeah, I finished my undergraduate here
Where?
in South Korea.
Can you expose where?
Yeah, Dankook University.
Oh,
It's
so
in
did you-
Yongin.
Right. Did you study in like 어학당 first? At the
Yeah, I did
beginning?
Ogdon for
What is
6-7 months.
Korean
Language class.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
와,
That's how I started. And then the 방송 stuff came in.
Right.
And then I ended up going into a Korean company. That's what happened.
Right. Korean company.
Yes.
So now you work in a Korean company.
Yes, I am.
대단하다. wow,
Very
진짜.
nice. Well, we heard you're busy, so we're really thankful that you get to take time out of your day to join us.
Exactly.
Today, we're talking about dating and what it's like in our respective countries.
Mhm.
I mean, yesterday was White Day, right? So you've been here for
Yeah.
11 years, so you probably celebrate sometimes. On and off.
Like there's so many days here in
Yeah.
Korea. Like it's hard to, like
That's
맞아.
true.
Yeah, I even like when I was working in South Korea for like part-time jobs.
Uh-huh.
I used to work in a samgyeopsal restaurant.
Oh, okay.
I did work there, and they
Right.
used to have samsam day.
Oh, yes, of course.
We did that actually. 삼겹살 day.
Yeah, so
3월
it's-
3일.
Right. It's so funny because it's unofficial, but Korea, every 14일, 14 of every month is someday.
Is it?
Basically, let's say if Valentine's is 2월 14, right? 3월 14 is White Day, 4월 14 is Black Day, 5월 14 is Rose Day.
Rose
it?
Day.
And 6월 14 또 있어. Everything 7,
와.
8, 9, 10 every month 14일 is an unofficial.
챙길 게 너무 많다.
네.
그니까.
We need to calm down a little bit.
Yeah,
I
right.
think.
맞아.
Right. But it was White Day yesterday, and that's why today we wanted to talk about what the dating culture is like in our respective homes.
Okay.
Exactly.
You're from Nepal.
Yeah.
But you've been living here for 11 years, and during that time, did you feel like there was similarities or discrepancies? What do you think is different?
I think, there were similarities as well, but the timeline was pretty different, I guess. Like, for example, Korea was booming. I told you they were changing, the times were changing and they were getting so much, new to the Western culture as well.
Right,
But
right.
Nepal, as in, it's still a conservative country though. Because we used to have, kings
Yes.
ruling the country until 2008.
Right.
And after that, we became, free.
Right.
And we had freedom. So after that, people started to express things and,
Right.
they could do everything freely.
Sure.
Okay,
So-
for people like me who are like shallow and I failed in geography and
Okay.
everything, can you tell us more about Nepal? Like, how is the culture? What language you use? Basically, where is it?
Okay, so Nepal is basically native. So it's we don't have the sea. So it's in between China and India, the biggest countries in the whole world. So
Right,
we're
right.
a small country, landlocked country. So there's like different people around. Like we speak more than 100 languages. And officially we speak Nepali. That's the language we have.
Right.
Yeah, so basically these are the stuffs that people know. So the highest mountain in Everest is in Nepal.
Oh,
yes, of course.
Yeah.
Right. We totally forgot about that.
Right.
Have you
right.
been there?
I have been to Everest till 6,000 meters.
Oh,
But
that's
it's like
high.
8,848 meters.
야,
I-
6,000도 되게 높던데.
It was a good
Yes.
experience though.
Right.
Maybe it's a good idea for a date.
Yeah, we should have like a dating spot at,
Somewhere.
6,000, 7,000
That'd be
altitude.
nuts.
And that would be like,
I won't breathe, I can't do
It's
that.
like, oh my God, 호흡이 부족해. Like, is it because my heart is beating fast or
Right?
because we're up here so
키스하다가
high?
숨 못 쉬어. 호흡 못 하겠다. Anyway, Rainy J Kim actually says 3월 14일 여기는 Pi Day because 3.14 is pi, right?
Yes.
What about in Nepal? Do you celebrate White Day?
no, we don't have like White Day, but we do celebrate Valentine's Day. That's like
Oh, you
14th
guys
of February.
also-
So, yeah.
Oh, you did mention Nepal was a bit more conservative.
Yes, we
than
were,
they
yes.
are here.
Ah.
And we do have the culture of, like son, which is kind of like parents introducing people to each other.
Yeah.
But is arranged marriage a thing in Nepal?
Yes, it used to be a must in Nepal, like before, like even my mom,
Yeah.
she got married a little quicker than everyone thought. She got married when she was like 21.
Wow.
Oh.
Okay.
And that's pretty fast, like according to these days.
Right.
So everything used to be like chumme gyaron. That's like the parents used to meet first and then they used to go for dates and
Yeah.
then they get to marry.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
these are the,
wow.
like the steps that we had to follow in Nepal.
Wow, wow.
I
I'm
learned-
amazed.
It is,
about
it is.
that.
All about it on this show. I know it's obviously different, but in India, there's a show called Indian Matchmaking.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was like
it's so
huge.
fun.
It's so fun, yeah.
It's so
Oh,
fun.
what's that?
It's about like a matchmaker in India who that's her job, right?
Yeah.
Getting people married. And if you don't know much about arranged marriages, you might think, oh, that's so stiff, that's so foreign, that's so different. But
Right.
there's still a lot of love, a lot of suspense, a lot of 설레임 when it comes to that as well.
Right.
So-
Is it because of the hierarchy thing? That's why.
That's the thing. You have to go to the background. Like India and Nepal, it used to be like small countries. Like they
Right.
have this caste system.
Right.
So that's been in ages. So
Right,
like
right.
I think legally it's not there right now, but socially it's still in existence.
Oh, I
For
heard from
example,
Lucky 형 많이 얘기했다.
yeah. For example, like my granny, like if I say like I'm dating someone
Oh, yeah.
like different from my min족 or
Sure.
different from my indigenous community, then she'd be like.
Against it.
안 돼.
안 된다고.
아,
누구야?
진짜?
There's like, oh, she'll be
Really?
like, our whole,
Yeah.
the Hosons will be collapsed. So she'll be like,
Oh, man.
but now she's changed a lot, but
Right.
it took, like almost 20, 25 years, I guess. Now she's open up and like, she's like, okay, 일단
That's
결혼해.
interesting.
But it's also very similar for me. We're all wearing, if you're on YouTube, we're all wearing a little body pins,
머리띠.
right? 띠, right? And I'm from the U.S., and you might think U.S. is super forward and not as conservative. But
Right.
being second generation, a lot of our parents and grandparents were even more conservative,
Yes.
보수적인. So they always told me too, like you should marry a Korean girl. And,
그래 여자만 데리고 오면 된다.
Is that your parents?
My mom always says
쿨한데?
whatever.
Right.
Right. Anyway, Jolie님 also said, 데이 얘기하다가 산디가 화나셨네요. 블랙데이는 케빈이랑 함께 하세요.
It's around the corner.
그럴게요. Yeah, next
we should
month.
go
Let's
have
eat
jajangmyeon.
I know, exactly.
Sounds good.
Uh-huh.
We have another message from Rainy J Kim. Can you see these messages, Sujan? Do you want to get this? It's behind you, but
Rainy J Kim.
yeah,
Could you be...
it's pretty far.
레이디 제이킴이야. 머리티 하고 있으니 세 분 뉴 컨셉 미인 대회 참가자들 같아 보여요.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
마카오인
반갑습니다.
알렉산더입니다.
유성 케빈입니다. Yeah.
Oh man. 0153 said 수잔 반가워요. 세 분 다
반가워요.
머리네. 내 네임핀 너무 귀엽네요. 오늘도 날씨는 따뜻한데 미세먼지 심하네요. Right, it's warm today.
이거 이번 주만 하는 거죠? 이제 처음 나왔으니까 the 머리핀.
I'm not sure. I
그런가?
think we might have to do it every week.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
We should be asking the listeners, like, should we go with the 머리티?
They would
or
say
not?
yes, I'm sure. 케빈 잘 어울리잖아, 솔직히.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. Anyway, should we listen to the song and come back?
Sure, let's do it.
This is Soyu and Jeonggigo featuring Gigs and Lil Boy, Psalm. All right, we're going to go officially into dating questions and we're going to compare different cultures, of course. And we're back in the studio here with Sujan from Nepal.
Right.
And by the way, I'm from Macau.
Yes, you are.
Right. And you're from US, for
I'm
those who couldn't
from
see,
the US,
right?
yes.
So the reason why I chose Macau is, nowadays Hong Kong 말이 많잖아요. So I'm just going to do that.
Okay.
So we're going to go through a few questions here. The first thing I'm very curious is like, in Nepal, how do you ask someone out? Since you say that it's very conservative, right?
It is. I remember those days, like we're back in school. We used to have like, we used to date, like even not telling any one of us, even like friends, they don't know that 사귀고
So you
있다.
guys were like 연예인 비밀 dating.
Yeah, there used to be like in
Whoa.
classes we were like, oh, 친구야, and these kind of stuff, and they are like dating, like you never know.
재밌겠다, 야.
You never know. And these are like,
Wow.
as you said, like it seems a little bit weird and not open, but that salim and like that
Sure.
heartbeat that you want to go to school and like see her or him, that makes us like keep on going. And I think you used to have letters as
Right,
old
right.
time.
Right. But what's the reason that you couldn't open up?
See,
혼나니까.
yeah, the thing is like it's a little bit for the first time. The thing is like we have to be of the same caste if you want to, like officially date before.
Right.
So if he or she is from a different caste, but I like her, so you can, you cannot help it.
Of course.
So that what you do is like you do pimilione. So you're like writing letters, you're not even telling your friends.
Right.
Because if someone goes and tells it to your parents, then you're dead.
Oh no,
Right.
So
that's
it
like
used to
Romeo and
be-
Juliet.
Yeah. So it used
소문도
to be like that.
빠르니까 like people,
Yeah.
everyone
Word of
hears
mouth.
about it.
맞아.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So I remember, like we used to do that, and at the end of the school, like for example, like we're now leaving the school, then you go to propose, or like then you're like 진지하다. So you're
Right,
like, okay,
Oh, man.
now it's the time. Like it's been 3 years now. Okay, I'm gonna go and like just ask.
But
her.
is there times when the family actually reject? Is it
Yes,
안
there
돼?
are times. Like they try to just keep them, like far away. So these things used to happen before, but
진짜
now
영화
it's
같다.
pretty open these days. I see people, like going out, dating.
Right.
So I see
Right.
these kind of things happening right now.
Right. I don't think for Macau and US it's just the same, right?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, today, whatever we say, they can feel like generalizations, but we're just talking from our personal experience.
Exactly, from our country.
Yeah.
You know what I'm really how do you say curious about is like what kind of men and women are considered attractive in your country?
Ooh.
Oh,
I like this
궁금하다.
question.
that's
Right.
a little bit, like hard for us because as I told you, we're from Nepal, but we look so much different. Everyone, like because
Oh,
I told
really?
you, like the Minjok, the indigenous,
Right,
community that we have,
Yes.
is so different. Like there are
Right.
people from Tibet, there are people from India,
Right.
so there are people from different, background.
Mhm.
So I think it's hard to tell, like okay,
Which type?
which type.
exactly?
Right.
but it depends upon like before we in our times like we used to see eyes.
Ah.
I.
Yeah, because like they say
No.
the eyes never lies, so that's why the namjas in Nepal they go for eyes.
That's so
interesting.
true because eye is a window of your soul.
Yeah.
Oh.
That is true.
So they have this appealing thing, like when you have that eye contact, you're like, okay, that's it.
I
She
totally
is my
agree.
girl. So that's what had.
Because some men, if you look at just like my eyes, you could see umlanwagui. Just kidding. See how dirty I am.
What was it like in Macau? Like, who's attractive?
Oh,
If
I
there's-
don't think there is actually anything specific there. I think it's case by case
Right.
in Macau. Some people like tall girls, some people like short girls, some
Right,
guys. It depends on who was a popular 연예인 during the time.
Yeah.
Right? It's
It's
usually like that.
Definitely the case in the States too these
Oh,
days.
also.
Because when I was in high school, when I was younger, it was all about like the jocks.
Yeah.
You have to be like jacked and you have to be good at sports.
I
don't know
And
if you saw-
who's pretty good with the trends and everything that's going right now. For example, like music, or,
Yes,
like
exactly.
the fashions.
Right.
Isn't that the guy like from what's the High School Musical guy?
Zac Efron.
Right? Everybody was like, oh, he's
That
there.
he was like the look, right?
Right.
And then there was this movie called 21 Jump Street where Channing Tatum's
Yeah.
character goes back to school, and a couple years later, maybe 2 decades later, like that's not cool anymore.
Mhm.
Right now, it's cool to be like the hipster dude who does like musical theater.
아, 진짜.
Yeah.
I think it's just like the kind of like a partner that you're looking for is
Yes.
just like imaginary. But I think
Right.
everyone has that click. Like once you
맞아.
think he or she is the one, then
Mhm.
like yeah. In Nepal, it used to happen.
이
Like they say,
사람이다.
yeah, they say like if
Right.
background music plays and there's orchestra coming out and playing for you, then she's the one.
Okay, let me ask you
Right.
something more personal.
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
so curious. So
Wow.
in Nepal,
Get ready.
yeah, I'm so ready
Yeah.
to ask this. What is skinship allowed? Because in Korea we have like 손잡기,
Yeah, yeah.
or like 뽀뽀하기,
Skinship or PDA as well. In public,
right. Public.
So in our times, like when I was in high school, it used to be like weird. Like we even didn't used to sit next to girls.
Oh, 안
Ah.
되구나.
Yeah, we used to go in the same school, but
Uh-huh.
it used to be like separate. Like we didn't have, like we used to have like two sittings.
Mhm.
Oh,
So it used to be like guy and a guy. So it's not gonna be like guy girl,
right,
girl, guy,
right,
or
right,
those kind
right.
of stuff. So
Right.
skinship in our time were like it was forbidden. I think like you didn't even like
Mhm.
grab hands
Mhm, mhm.
out in public.
Oh wow.
But now it's changed a lot. But before I think like I've never seen people like just hugging or just even like
right.
catching
Yeah.
hands and like
What about in America?
America, it's obviously very open. People are
very.
too explicit, I think, in public. But I do think it's changed a lot in Korea as well. Obviously,
Yeah.
I've only been here 5 years, but
right.
so many holidays, so many events, so many like fashion cultures. Everything revolves around dating here,
Exactly.
to the point where like it's very normal to see a lot of public displays of affection.
Oh,
I think.
exactly. That's why yesterday I didn't want to go out because if you go out, it's couple 지옥.
it's couple chill.
Couple hell.
지옥이라니.
Everybody's like showing too much affection outside, inside, and
And you're
oh,
like at the corner and like which day is it today? man?
I
Everyone's out there.
know. 짜증나니까.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, stay tuned because we're going to talk more about Global Village, about dating. We're going to play some game and ask more questions. So stay tuned, everybody. We'll be right back.
Bye. Welcome back, everybody, to K Ride. This is TBS eFM 101.3 in Seoul and surrounding areas and 90.5 in Busan. I'm your driver, Kevin.
And I'm your driver, Alexander. You can listen to us again through Naver Audio Clip as well as on Patbang. Also, download our mobile app TBS eFM, available on Google Play Store or Apple iTunes.
Yes, before we move on with today's Global Village, we wanted to remind you once again about the emergency measures for fine dust or mizeonji that have been issued in Seoul and surrounding areas.
Right, these measures have gone into effect at 6 a.m. today, and they will stay effective until 9 p.m. tonight.
Yes, all drivers are advised against driving vehicles with effluent gas levels of 5.
Elderly, patients with respiratory and cardiovascular diseases should refrain from going out.
Yes, refrain from taking part in outdoor activities, wear a mask at all times.
And please take public transportation instead of your own vehicles. And all construction sites are advised to shorten their operating hours.
All right. We have Sujan in the studio today. It's the first time doing Global Village with a new guest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How are you? Namaste, Sujan.
Namaste, guys. Namaste.
Right. So we have been talking about dating cultures.
Right.
And we're going to actually continue to some questions. There's
sure.
like a few interesting ones, right?
Yeah, I like this one. It's about dating etiquette. So based on where you're from in your specific countries, are there any dating etiquettes that only exist in your countries, do you think?
Right. Do's and don'ts 같은 거 있나요?
Do's and don'ts. These days, like we just randomly, like go out and have food and stuff like that. But before, it used to be like we have to get harak from our parents before.
Oh, really?
Like, okay, so the thing is, how it starts is like if I see someone from our community, then I think like I'm into her or into him. Then you just like tell your parents, and they'll be like seeing, like if the parents would be meeting first.
Oh.
So that's how it is.
At what age?
I think, like we have to be 18 at least.
18.
Yeah, so it's like after we finish our 고등학교, high school. So
Right.
that's how it happens.
Interesting.
But do's and don'ts, like it depends upon person to person, but there's
Yes.
no kind of, like legal things or we should
No
not be doing
cultural
this or
do's and
cultural
don'ts.
distancing. It's there still,
Now I'm
Right.
curious about that. Like 남자 여자 밥 먹을 때
Yeah.
남자가 계산해야 돼요. Does guy have to pay first?
In our situation, like if we're meeting with our parents, then it's gonna be like namjas first.
Oh,
Okay, the
남자
namja
first.
families, yes.
Ah.
guy
That would
side.
be, yes, guy side would be paying first, and
Ah.
they would be like, if they like it, then they'll be like, okay, the second date would be there. Then where the
Girl side.
yeah, girls' parents
Ah.
or girls would be paying it.
Interesting.
So that's how it happens.
와,
So it can finish
진짜.
within like one date.
Yes.
So it's like, oh no.
그럼 남자가 먼저 선하네.
그렇지.
Guys have
남자가
to
많이
pay.
손해 본 거지.
Oh man, that's interesting. What about in the States?
Well, America, it's so diverse. I mean, that's why they call
Dutch
it the
pay?
melting pot. So, I mean,
Right.
Dutch pay is a thing there. It's a thing here as well. But that's why I think it's better to talk about what it's like perhaps here in Korea.
in Korea.
Because there are etiquettes, I think. For example, one that I've heard of is 한 세 번 정도 만나요.
아, 세 번 정도.
Yeah, and after those 3 times you meet, then somebody should decide
Who's
whether
gonna pay?
you're, or not just who's going to pay, but whether you're going to be dating or not.
Ah, okay.
Like people
For
say,
3 times.
it's usually within a month or 3 times. Hence, even the whole Valentine's Day, the girl 고백s to the guy, and the guy, I don't know, 뭐 하느라 바쁜지 모르겠지만, he has to spend a whole month deciding whether he wants
exactly
to
for white
it would be
yes.
like-
답장.
답장 안 올까?
Right,
올까? So that's
맞아.
gonna be the whole process. I want to ask you guys question.
진짜.
Like, have you gone to like any sogetings here in Korea?
not yet.
No, actually no.
No.
소개팅, I don't know. I feel very uncomfortable with 소개팅.
But that's
Is it?
obviously a big part of Korea.
맞아.
But I've seen so many people, like after they get married and
Yeah.
after like sogeting and stuff. So
Mhm.
it has its own like 성공률 as well. So
Of
it
course.
succeeds.
Exactly. By the way, for those who don't know, 소개팅 is like a matchmaking thing, right?
Yes.
A date thing where a bunch of people, like 2 guys, 2 girls, meet up in a dinner or whatever.
Right.
And I really don't like it because 진짜 최악
모르는 사람일
같아.
수도 있어요. 친구의
Right?
친구일 수도 있고.
Because
So
딱
it's really
보자마자 you already know, you have the feeling, oh, 마음에 든다 or not already, you know? You already know that feeling.
You do? No, I don't think
Yeah.
so. I think that's specific to you.
야, 나만 쓰레기네.
아니, 그거 아니고 I'm just saying you're a believer in 첫눈에 반하는 타입이고.
아, 있어. 느낌이 있어. 딱 외모도 판단해야지. That's why, you know, also the
Right.
outlooks and everything.
Or just
느낌이다.
분위기.
Right?
that you're
Yes,
getting.
Exactly. 갑자기 찔린네.
No.
But sometimes you feel good, like because some of your friends are like taking care of you, like
Sure.
that might be
Right,
like, Kevin,
right.
너 소개팅 할래?
Yeah.
어떤 여자 있는데 너랑 딱 맞는 것 같아.
See,
So
my thing
these
is,
kind of stuff.
my friends have never, maybe once or twice, but almost have never asked me.
They do. They did not.
They've
ask
never.
you?
Nobody's tried to set me up on
Oh,
a
really?
meeting. Have you?
No,
No,
really.
you've known me for 5 years.
The
or
the
longer.
funny thing is, let's say if a girl actually introduced to another girl, I don't know why, but 절대 본인보다 더 예쁜 여자 없어.
Oh.
They will never find somebody who's prettier than themselves.
Oh, that might be a
짜증나.
strategy though.
Right? So that's why I'm always like, if any girl say, "아 오빠, 내가 소개하는 여자 해줄 거다," I'm like, 너보다 이쁘니?
Or is it like an
prettier than
appeal?
you
Like,
right now.
see, I'm the best one. Like you don't go with the
Yeah,
other
for
options.
some
Is that
reason
the thing?
나보다 안 좋은 사람 소개해줘.
아니야. I think that's just
I don't know.
your experience,
Yeah,
right?
maybe like that's your experience.
Right. Oh, by the way, some listeners was asking what's skinship. By the way, skinship is a very Konglish thing. It's like how does a relationship with skin. So
Well,
basically, it's like
yeah.
touching, like holding
touching,
hands.
Holding hands, kissing, and everything
Yeah.
after that.
Kissing까지 아니라도 skinship sometimes we're like I don't know any body contact.
These days
okay.
it's hard, like with the masks and everything.
I
so.
know, right?
yeah.
아니 we could put the hand sanitizer
hands.
together. 발라줄게. Okay, sorry. 숨이 너무
느끼한데?
높기 전에.
That's
I better
skinship
stop
too.
here.
That's very cleansing.
Cleansing your hand.
Right.
Anyway, should we move on to the OX quiz part then?
If you want to, yeah.
I
we
know.
Can do that.
I hate the question because it's so horrible.
Uh-huh.
But we're gonna play. So what happened? What we're gonna do is that on our hands we have a O X thing. So we're gonna ask question. For example, do you think Kevin O is handsome? 1, 2, 3. Then we say O or X, right? So we are gonna go to the questions.
All right.
I really don't like the questions here. It's so sad. Should we go into the first one?
Yeah, I'll get this one.
Alright.
We have to be 100% truthful.
Yeah, sure.
Okay?
Go, okay. Everybody, today here on K-Ride, 우리 맹세해야 돼. We are
Yes.
going to be honest in front of PD님 and
Yep.
everybody.
Okay, agree.
cool.
맹세합니다.
The first question is, I have dumped a girl before. How do you say this in Korean?
난 여자 차인 적
내가-
있었다.
Okay.
내가 차였다.
Yes,
내가
yes,
차였다,
yes.
right?
Ready? 하나, 둘, 셋.
Yeah.
오,
Yeah.
야,
진짜
수잔 no.
없다고요?
Really?
수잔 no. Me and Kevin yes.
진짜 없어요.
Why?
I'm like, I swear to God.
Okay.
Why?
I think I got dumped a lot of times, but I
Right.
did not.
Okay.
Why? What's the reason?
I don't know. Maybe
There's nothing wrong
Yeah,
with
there's
being
nothing
the
wrong,
person
but
to
it's-
dump the person.
I didn't want it to end up, but like the 상대방 or
Right.
they wanted to end it up. So yeah, maybe that's the problem.
역시 사랑이 고통이야.
또.
Love is pain.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll go to the next question too. I was dumped by a girl before.
차였다.
Yeah?
1, 2, 3.
Yes. Oh, Xander, no.
Nobody dumped me. I dumped them. Just kidding. 아니야.
역시 샌더 나쁜 남자였어.
아니야.
Wow.
I was dumped by a girl. 아니야.
Come on,
No.
remember it.
Okay.
맹세했잖아요.
썸까지는 썸도
some doesn't matter. Some doesn't
썸,
matter.
그치.
이거는 근데
So-
dump는 이미 사귀고
this
나서
This is another Korean thing. 썸은
썸.
연애 맞나? Is 썸 actually we call 썸 something because it's between a real official relationship and just seeing each other.
I think it's only official in Korea because like
Yeah,
they
we
say
don't have that.
오늘부터 1일이다.
I know,
That's how
right?
you 사겨요 here, right?
So 썸 탈 때 does it also 차이는 거? Does it also count as
I
kick?
don't think it includes.
그럼
Because that's like just 밀당 you're doing.
Something means some means something, right?
right.
There's some.
It comes from the word something.
Yeah,
there's
there's
something
something going around.
I mean, it's interesting because it's an American word, but we don't call that some in America.
We say
What do you call
some.
that in America?
I don't know what we call it. It's like
Flirting?
I think they say like I don't know what we are like
Flirting, dating.
We're seeing each other.
Seeing each
something
other.
like that. Yeah.
Exactly. That's another interesting thing because in Korea, I don't know, like 썸 타는 기간은 how long should it be, you know? I used to got, I think I got dumped, yes. Because of like people were like saying that 썸 너무 오래 타니까 확신이 없어서 그냥 갈게.
And maybe
right?
like the my experience, the Korean girls they want the answers. Like they'll be like
Mm-hmm.
오늘부터는 진짜 1일이다. 우리 사귄 거다.
Right.
So we're on a contract. So that's how
Yeah.
it starts.
It's a
So,
contract.
yeah. So I
진짜?
think it does not happen. Like within.
It does, and then
with the flow.
in
Case by
Korea, there's
case.
일일, there's I don't know, maybe there's 일주일 for some people. There's 30일,
Yeah, they do
100일,
lots of things.
200일, 300일, and then
1000일.
60 days later, it's the 1 year. It's like,
아니야. 애매한 게 I think it's case by case. Sometimes I was like, 뽀뽀부터 1일 아니야? 도장 찍었잖아. I thought kiss is a stamp of the beginning.
I think
아닌데.
누군가 이렇게
아닌데.
정했으면 좋겠다. Like
I know.
뽀뽀했다
짜증나.
사귄다.
Okay.
아.
짜증나요. Okay.
Anyway, let's move on to the next question before we become 19금. The next question is, I was popular at school.
All right.
하나, 둘, 셋. 따단.
No, I was not.
야, 수잔.
나는 진짜 있어. School, not
아까-
at work.
Right, off air, Sujan actually was mentioning that he got like secret gifts.
Yeah,
in
I did.
school. Tell us
really,
about
really.
it.
That was
어떻게
like
된 거야?
interesting, But
Yeah.
it's like I told you, we used to have, like 비밀 연애. So we didn't know who likes someone or who does not like it. But
Ah.
when you go there, there's gonna be like some gifts in
What
your
kind of
desk.
gift?
Like we used to have roses.
Wow.
I used to get chocolates, and I used to get like fancy, like
wow.
notebooks.
Wow.
So yeah, and after like a year,
Mm-hmm.
someone comes up and like, yeah, I was the one who gifted you these kind of stuff. So like, what do you think about it? So that's how it happens.
Interesting.
Very nice. Yeah, he was popular in high school.
Right.
Okay.
high school.
Yes. We have more of these yes or no questions coming your way, so stay tuned. But first, this song from 장범준. Do you want to get it or you want me to get it?
I will do it. This is a very
Okay.
long one, so I have to challenge it. 흔들리는 꽃들 속에서 네 샴푸 향이 느껴진 거야.
All right.
Oi.
Right, before getting to your messages, there is one last OX quiz I'm really curious about.
Okay.
Since we're all foreigners, right? The question is, I've been in a long-distance relationship before. Yes or no? 하나, 둘, 셋.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm the only one?
Yeah. Because I
Wow.
don't believe in long distance.
It's hard.
Right? 너무 어려우니까.
Right.
소감 어때요, 케빈님?
소감이요?
How do you feel?
Well, the thing is, we answered, I've dumped a girl before was the first one. I've been dumped by a girl was the second one. I said
Right.
both yes to those.
So that was long
And
distance?
both of them were long distance.
Oh! Oh, now
That's
it
why
makes sense.
I don't think I'll ever do it, until maybe you're married and then maybe you got to go live somewhere else for work
맞아,
or something
맞아.
like that. But it's not easy.
Right. If there is no common goal,
Yeah.
어려워, right?
And at first, like, it's nice because it kind of feels there's a romance to it, you know?
맞아.
You write each other emails, and back then it was kind of harder to communicate through like video messaging.
Yes.
맞아.
There's
These
no,
days
like,
it's ubiquitous,
cell
but back then it was
아, 근데
much harder.
솔직히 even though you could do video message, I don't want to kiss my screen, you know? 자기 보고 싶어.
Like
And you just
virtual
keep
kisses
kissing
and
your
everything.
TV screen.
But you know, like,
I've never done that before, okay?
But here in Korea, I
Yeah.
think it happens a lot, like because lots of the guys they go for kundae.
아,
Almost
근데.
like 2 years they have to be there. So if
Right.
you're in a relationship, then I think it needs lots of commitment and everything.
반전 군대 끝나고 남자가 여자 차요.
After she
some
waited for
guys,
him?
right, after waiting for 2 years.
나는 기다렸는데.
I know. And the guy said, 안녕. 나 딴 여자 만날 거야. 나 이제 취직해야 돼. 다 핑계요. I won't translate that because it's so,
Okay.
horrible.
Right. But yes, that was all of our questions, right, for XRL.
Exactly.
We have a lot of listener messages. I mean, when we're talking about dating 연애, everyone has something to say. We have a message from Kellen.
Kellen Faria said that we celebrate Valentine's Day on only one date, which is June 12th. And we don't have as many days as White Day.
June 12th?
Kellen Faria, where are you? Let us know which country you're from.
June 12th.
Right.
You know what? It's interesting because yesterday, 알고 보니까 it was actually Mother's Day. So I was like, huh? And it's in Britain, actually. In
So that's
United
different.
Kingdoms.
Right.
Lenny Susilo say, what man that attractive? He must be a good heart. Or what kind of man is attractive?
Somebody with a good heart.
Somebody with a good,
Good
heart.
heart.
Right.
And we say the eyes, right? 근데 몰라. 마스크 빼야 돼. You also have to see 얼굴을 봐야 돼. 솔직히. 솔직히 외모도 중요하잖아. Right?
Okay.
그렇죠.
Tim Lu says, learning a lot about Nepal.
Exactly. I'm also
Exactly,
learning
exactly.
a lot.
Yeah. And time after time K says,
산다, 케빈, 수자님 같은 학생들만 있으면 교실에서 빛이 반짝반짝 할 듯이요. 현실에는 없는 학생이죠. 마치 like 교회 오빠.
교회 오빠.
Three of us.
We were like 교회 오빠 같아요? 우리?
글쎄.
I think if the three of us go to school, we're gonna be like almost paradise, and we're gonna find 군잔디.
Is that a F4 reference?
어 맞아.
Ah, okay,
꽃보다
got it.
남자.
Right.
Right.
숑숑이는 비숑인가 says, wow, 네팔 문화 너무 신기해요. 저는 한국에 살고 있지만 문화관은 네팔이네요.
그럴 수 있죠.
Right.
Like the time life, if you go back, then it might be,
Right.
similar to the conservative society that we used to have here in Korea as well.
Yes, a
I'm
lot is
curious,
changing in
Jan,
Nepal.
can I ask you? You can not answer
Yeah,
if you
sure,
don't want,
sure.
right? Have you ever dated any Korean girl?
Yeah, I have.
And then did your parents know about it?
I didn't let them know.
Hey, no personal
여보세요,
questions.
수정 어머님. 네. Just kidding. We won't do that.
We have more. I'm going to deflect for Sujan right now. We have more messages. Do you want to get this one from Marry Me?
Sure.
Yeah. There's dating is like flirting or courting. I'm so out of topic. Can't connect. Low signal. I
Well,
think
you
she's
can
from
connect with Xander then
Yeah,
too,
yeah, yeah.
because he doesn't
Marry
know
me,
either.
right? If you can't connect with dating or flirting or courting or anything, yeah, just connect with me. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, love is pain.
Wohun's cat, I think that says.
One's cat.
One's cat says, but usually you fall for somebody total opposite of your ideal type.
Oh, I totally
Yeah, that
agree.
happens at time.
That is,
진짜.
I believe in this for sure.
Me too.
Right.
Oh.
Okay, so since we talk about this, 이상형 얘기 좀 해봅시다.
해요?
What's your 이상형? Your
그러니까
ideal
진짜
type.
어떻게 we should be like 외모부터 다 얘기해야 돼요.
Okay, I'll start first then.
Okay.
I'll set an example. 일단 키 큰 여자는 저는 별로예요. 저는.
Okay.
Wow.
키 큰 여자.
키 큰 여자면 it's so hard to even hug or kiss, you know?
Okay.
나보다 키 크면 you know, I have to look up and then my 여자친구 have to 내 정수리 봐야 되니까.
But you're
Look
already
at my
tall.
head.
You're like 180, right?
근데 they are like models, you know?
Of course.
Come
So
on.
they're like so
So-
tall.
Okay.
여자 힐까지 신으면 if they're like 170 something, right?
Yeah.
And they wear heel, then oh my god, I don't know how to kiss them anymore.
Mm.
And let's say 성격은 I like people who are like very independent.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
And work hard, right?
For sure.
So that's what I like. And then also who are respectful to my family.
Uh-huh.
서로.
Right.
Right. What about you?
For me, I think like it's I don't know, like I've dated like with some Korean girls and, coming through and out, but
Right.
for me, like I think with an experience,
Mhm.
I shouldn't be meeting someone who is like similar to me. That because like positive, it
you
does not
should.
match.
You shouldn't.
I should not.
Oh yeah.
So I think she has to be very opposite to me. Like for example, I'm like very outgoing, then she should not be that much outgoing.
Right.
We would be like fighting
Crashing.
over everything, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think negative, positive.
I totally agree
Kind of.
with this. Yeah.
Oh, you agree with it?
I used to think like, oh, I think what I find valuable in my partner is things that I like in myself, but I disagree with that now. And I think what is it? 반대가 끌린다. Opposites attract.
Right.
This definitely makes sense for me too.
Yeah, I think.
So
Because-
somebody opposite as Kevin must be somebody very noisy. 오빠! 밥 먹을래? 야, 오빠 우리 데이트 할까?
You know, that might be an ideal type
Somebody
as well. No
who's
one knows.
very social, somebody who's very 활동적인, somebody who's kind of like stronger.
Because
I think I'm
Kevin's
a little
like
bit more.
every time, then you should date a rock girl. 나 케빈 오빠 좋아. 이런 여자 괜찮지?
Yeah, okay.
Just kidding.
Yeah, okay. Well, I love today's corner. This was Global Village. It was our first time doing it with a guest. Today we had Sujan from Nepal, and we learned a lot, really.
I know
I wasn't
exactly.
expecting that.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much. And I
Yeah,
know that you're gonna
thank
come
you.
back from time to time.
Sure,
even though
I'll
you're
be
working,
here.
right?
Yep, sure.
So hopefully we could come up with more topics and actually share more. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sujan.
Thank you guys. You guys, you know, like it was pretty fun just going around and talking to you.
I
guys.
learned
Yeah,
so
yeah.
much about Nepal today.
Yeah, we will
definitely.
do more learning in coming shows, I guess.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, we're gonna say goodbye to you with a song. This is cool with 작은 기다림. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.